Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today I'm making a red, white, and blue spiral t-shirt. My shirt has been soaked in soda ash, wrung out with my Panda spin dryer, and so it's just barely damp. I also have my shirt turned inside out. I'm using a fork to start my spiral in the middle of my shirt, and I'm going to use rubber bands to hold it in place. Alright, now it's time to start applying the dye. But before I do that, I'm going to use a washable marker and divide my shirt into 6 equal sections. This is where I'd like to apply the dye. I'm going to do 2 red, 2 blue, and 2 white sections. I'm also going to take my dye and put it down into smaller containers. I'd like to have a little better control of my dye when I put it on the shirt, so I'm using some needle tip bottles that I purchased from Amazon. I'll leave the link below in the description. The colors that I'm going to use are Midnight Blue and Fire Red from Dharma. As I'm putting the dye down into the smaller bottles, I keep looking at my shirt over there and start getting a little bit concerned about how small the sections are. So I decided to go ahead and turn my shirt over onto the back side and make just 4 sections on my shirt. 1 red, 1 blue, and 2 white. This will make each of these sections a little bit larger, and I think it will be easier to dye and keep the white areas white on the shirt if I have a little bit bigger sections. I'm using the Fire Red in the section that is up near the neck of my shirt, so you can see the tag sticking out. That's where I'm going to put the Fire Red, is in that section. I'm applying a fairly generous coating of the red, but I'm not wanting to oversaturate with the red because I don't want the red to run into my white area. Then I'm going to use the Midnight Blue in the section across from the red. In the 2 areas that I'd like to leave white, I'm going to use a dye bottle that is filled with water. And I'm just going to put a nice coating of water on these 2 areas so that the dye has less of a tendency to want to run into those areas because they're already full of water. I'm going to turn my shirt over and do the same pattern on the other side. I'm going to have to ignore the lines that I originally drew on the front side of this shirt and just line up my dye with the pattern on the back. If you notice, I'm not putting a lot of dye in the middle center spiral area of my shirt because I don't want the blue and the red to mix and make purple right in the middle. I'm just barely taking both of those colors up to that center section. I had an annoying fly in my dye area today that kept landing on the shirts when I was trying to dye them. When I picked my shirt up to turn it over a second time, I laid it on a new spot on my rack so that I didn't get any dye transfer from the red or blue onto the white areas. Just putting another light coat of dye on both the red and blue spaces just to make sure I get it well saturated. Alright, so here's what our red, white, and blue spiral looks like. Hey, if you guys are enjoying watching my videos, could you please hit the big red subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel? Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.